Hey, how's it going? I'm making a quick video here just to talk to you about DJI's new single-arm pistol grip gimbal, the Ronin S. I had a chance to do a brief email interview with a representative from DJI to get some answers to some questions that I had about the gimbal. I was not at CES, so I didn't see the gimbal in person, so all I'm doing is reading to you the answers that I got via email and giving you my thoughts. So my first question here was about weight capacity. There's actually two different versions of the Ronin S. There's the Ronin S and the Ronin S Mirrorless. And I asked, what are the weight capacities of the two models? Currently, the Ronin S and Ronin S Mirrorless are going through design adjustments and tweaks, so we cannot provide accurate data of capacity at this stage. Based off our internal testing, the Ronin S can hold heavier payload than similar products on the market. Hopefully, the Ronin S Mirrorless has a weight capacity of about 1.8 kilograms, that's my hope. And hopefully the Ronin S has a weight capacity of 2.5 or greater kilograms. That should make it competitive with other gimbals in its class. Question number 2, is the quick release plate standard? We understand the value of having a standardized quick release plate, so we will make a quick release plate compatible with Arca Swiss or Manfrotto. Great. Question 3, does it auto-calibrate to the weight of the camera? Answer, yes. Ronin S utilizes the same AUTOTUNE feature to calibrate motor parameters based on the payload mounted to the gimbal. You can either activate this feature through the DJI Ronin mobile app or simply press then hold the front trigger and M button simultaneously for 2 seconds to activate it. Now what's really cool about that feature is that you don't necessarily need to activate the app in order to get the AUTOTUNE. That's really important to me because I don't always have time to fire up the app and wait for the Bluetooth to connect to the gimbal so that I can start shooting. Question 4, what's the battery runtime? One battery grip can keep our demo unit at CES going for a full show day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. We didn't actually start the battery runtime test yet, but I'm confident to say it can keep up with the most intense shoot days. To me, that says it probably has about 6 hours of running time, which again, is competitive with everything else on the market, not better, not worse. Now question 5, this is a big one to me. How does the inverted mode work? This is important to me because the Ronin S is a 45-degree slanted arm gimbal, which means that you can always see the screen due to the motor arm being slanted at 45 degrees. With the other 45-degree gimbal that I tested, the Nebula 5100 slant, the inverted mode was just the wonkiest thing I'd ever seen. The motor goes right in front of the camera lens. You know, it just hovers just a little bit above the lens of the camera, so if you move the camera too fast or tilt, you'll get the motor in your shot, especially with wider angle lenses, which we all tend to use with gimbals. So DJI's answer on this one. There are two types of inverted modes on the Ronin S. Thanks to the slanted gimbal design, we can simply rotate the tilt axis and the lens is still not obstructed, and that's the mode I don't like. You notice how the motor is not in the shot, but it's very, very close to being in the shot. They said this could be helpful when the user needs to pull an uninterrupted take from a higher camera position to a low camera position. Also, you could turn the gimbal into inverted position by rotating the roll axis motor. And here's where DJI really wins my vote here. You can see that it puts the motor in back. My concern here though is that the eyepiece of the camera is just about to hit the motor of the gimbal. There's like maybe a millimeter of clearance there. So probably if you use a really long lens, you'll run into some of these problems with trying to balance it and go into inverted mode without hitting a motor. Next question, how does the follow focus knob work? And what does the screen on the focus module do? There's two types of control mechanism. One, and I'm going to paraphrase because this is kind of long, you can use the motor in the lens and control it electronically. Number 2, we also developed an external lens control motor that can be added to the rig. So I think that means that it's going to have a mechanical follow focus, which is important for all of us who have Sony cameras, for instance, which cannot be controlled electronically. They said the little screen on top of the focus control unit is used to show the menu items of the Ronin S. Okay, so you're just using that to control focus parameters. I had hoped that it would be an external monitor of some kind for the camera, but it's not. Can you give me a better idea of what the SMOOTHTRACK does? SMOOTHTRACK is a fully customized automated gimbal following feature we developed for our gimbal series. So it sounds like it's something that was in the original Ronin as well. I've never used a Ronin, so I don't know if it's any good. When the user walks with the setup, he can adjust the responsiveness of the Ronin S and make it to react to the user's movement in the right way. So it sounds like it's just the speed that it responds to your movement. If you turn your hand quickly, you can set it to either follow slowly or follow quickly. Is there a remote control? The Ronin S has a Bluetooth built into the system, so you can control the gimbal orientation using the virtual joystick in the Ronin mobile app. And I'm going to paraphrase the rest of this answer. They will offer an optional receiver module in addition to the app. So you'll be able to have a physical remote control and you'll be able to use the app. But, and I'm going to paraphrase this answer, because of the limitations of Bluetooth, they're going to offer an external receiver module which lets you use it with the other DJI control units, such as the remote controller of the Ronin 2, the DJI Master Force, and the DJI Master Wheels. I've never used any of those other modules, so I can't really comment. Next, can you give me any updates of the upcoming wireless video transmitter? We're actually trying to say users can mount the video transmitter of their choice to the Ronin S because we will have a cheese plate accessory, and the 8-pin connector provides 12-volt DC power. So they're not coming up with their own wireless transmission device, they're just letting you use other wireless transmitters, and they're putting a place to receive it and power on the Ronin S. That's okay, but here's the thing. We really need a lower cost, more portable wireless video transmitter for all these gimbals. Otherwise, how is the second operator supposed to see what they're operating? If you're having somebody else control the head of the gimbal and somebody else is just walking with it, how is the person with the remote supposed to know what they're doing? Since DJI has all that great technology for wireless video transmission, I would really like to see them apply it to the Ronin S. And finally, are you making a backpack for it? We're currently thinking about making a hard shell case with an internal foam bed to help you travel around with the Ronin S safely, but you can also easily store the Ronin S in your camera backpack since the battery grip is removable and the gimbal arms can be folded into a flat form. Personally, I don't really want a hard shell backpack for my gimbal anyway. I'm not just packing the gimbal in the backpack, I'm also packing all my accessories, and every shoot's a little bit different, so I need maximum versatility. Also, hard shell backpacks are a pain in the ass to travel with on planes, so I'd much rather have a soft shell backpack and a portable gimbal that I can just take apart really easily. And it sounds like the Ronin S is that gimbal. Okay, so what are my overall thoughts so far? Well, I think the Ronin S sounds really promising, but the main thing that I want to test is something that you really just can't get from specs, which is how stable is the gimbal. So I'm hoping that this gimbal becomes the most reliable and best featured gimbal on the market. It's certainly not going to be the cheapest, but that's okay for me as long as it's bomb-proof in real-world applications. So DJI, thanks so much for the interview, and I will see you next time.